Hello everybody! About 9 to 10 months ago, 9.5 months ago or so, I made a little YouTube video where I flipped through this whole sketchbook with you guys. I did a little sketchbook tour, I finished the whole sketchbook, and we walked through it and I showed you everything that was in here. At the end of that video, I showed you that I started my newest sketchbook, sketchbook number 5. And as you can see, over the past 9.5 months or so, I finished that sketchbook. And we're gonna do another sketchbook tour, but this time of sketchbook number 5. There's not much more to say for this intro, the video is pretty straightforward. I'm just gonna show you this whole sketchbook, everything that's inside, and I'll show you my newest sketchbook, which I've already started, and I've done quite a bit of art in already, and I'm very, very excited to show you. If you haven't seen any of my content before, hello there, my name is Gail, I'm an artist and illustrator, and this is my sketchbook. If you're pretty familiar with my videos, some of the things you're going to be seeing in the sketchbook are things you've probably seen before, because a lot of my videos are sketchbook oriented. So there's going to be some things you've seen in here before, and a bunch of new stuff as well. But we're just going to jump right into it, so before anybody jumps into the comments and asks, this is an illo sketchbook. I have been using illo sketchbooks for most of my life and through most of my art career. You can get them through Amazon or illo Sketchbook's official website. You can get them as a mini sketchbook, which is a 4.5 by 4.5, the 8 by 8, which is what I have, or a massive 10 by 10. So we're just gonna jump straight into the sketchbook now. Here is the cover. This is a design I digitally illustrated myself of some carnival squash because I was going through a bit of a digital botanical art phase. And on the back side here, we have it covered with stickers, some of my own and some other people's stickers. So these two are mine, my little guy club sticker and my Naruto sticker. Obviously, I have a Muse Kids sticker on here. These 4 were from Tiny Herb Studio, who makes really, really cute bearded dragon artwork that I just had to get. This sticker is from Bailey J. This one is just a random sticker I had, and this one is from my art department awards at my school. But now we're gonna jump straight into the sketchbook, which I'm very excited to show you. Opening it on up, we have some artwork of Kyokujiro, my favorite character from My Hero Academia. I did this artwork specifically because back in January, I was going to meet Trina Nishimura and I had her sign this sketchbook spread, so this is her signature right here. This really kicked off my return to fan art because, as I said in my last sketchbook video, I wasn't really doing a ton of fan art and I felt like I wasn't making a lot of fun, colorful stuff in the sketchbook, so that was a priority for sketchbook number 5, to just have fun with my sketchbook again, make more fan art, and make stuff that was more fully rendered and colorful. I did do this later, so this is not in chronological order. This I did a lot later because I actually started off the sketchbook not on this page, but on this page. But we have to flip through sketchbook order, so this is some artwork of my favorite singer. His name is Sakata, and he is from the band Urashima Sakata-sen, which I have talked about a few times before. They are a quartet, a little J-pop band that I really love, and I decided to try my hand at drawing him. This is what he looks like in real life, and these were some of my interpretations of some of his characters throughout several music videos and songs that he's in. This is shortly after discovering Touch New markers, which I love and I use all the time now, so I'm very, very glad that I found those. And the way I found them was through my collab with Stationery Pal. And this was some of the artwork that I made back for that Christmas collab. I decided I wanted to focus on making winter fashion because I love fashion design. So these were just some little drawings that I did using alcohol markers and Tombow markers, just coming up with different ideas for winter fashion. These were some sketches for my printmaking final, where I was designing my Of the Earth print, which is currently up on my wall, so I can't exactly show you, but it looks something similar to, I think, this one down here. This is probably the closest. And then the next page here was what I did for Muse Kids for their December Christmas card making box, but I decided to make a collage instead. So I tore up lots of the paper that I was sent and I made this whole spread of Christmas trees out of paper and string. It's just super 3D, has a lot of fun texture to it, which I really love, and that got me on a bit of a collage kick, so you're gonna see more of that throughout the sketchbook too. Here we have the actual swatches for the Stationery Pal collab back in December. So these were all the supplies that I got and the supplies that I ended up using. Here I have even more fashion sketches. Very cute. You can see I was sticking to a very color-coded theme as I worked. I also did a red and gold color palette. These are definitely some of my favorites of the bunch. I really love these outfits. These 3 I think are really strong. I absolutely love them. here I have some sketches for my Tiger Miraculous redesign, along with just some sketches of Margot from Klaus, because that is my favorite Christmas movie and I've been drawing Margot for a very long time. So I drew her again, as is tradition. On the next spread, we have our first little flippy page. So here I have some more Miraculous redesign sketches. These were for the dragon, and these were for the pig and the dog. Down here was a concept that I never actually made anything out of, but it was Year of the Dragon, so I wanted to do something with a dragon, and I thought it would be fun to make a dragon fruit dragon, but I never actually made that a full design, so those are just sketches and will remain sketches forever. On the next page, these are a bunch of sketches for a personal graphic design project that I did just for fun. There's an account that I follow called A to Z Logo Challenge, where they come up with a different brief each week for a graphic design project, following each letter of the alphabet, and this one was for the start of the year, which was for an ice cream company called Arctic Scoops. So these were all my sketches for the project before I started making digital renders and coming up with ideas. That was very, very fun, and I think it's a fun addition to the sketchbook and helps break up all the illustrations a little bit. Here I have some sketches for school, because I was doing a fairy-oriented project for one of my classes, and I did some sketches of Iridessa, because she's a wonderful fairy, one of my personal favorites. Over here, we have even more art that I made back in January for the convention. So not only did I meet Trina Nishimura at the beginning of the sketchbook here, I made this and this in about the same period of time. So I did this one first, and then I made this like 2 days before the convention. So I was meeting both Kyle Phillips and Trina Nishimura, and I got Kyle to sign the page as well. Again, this really kicked off my fan art phase and got me back into really enjoying making fan art and turning it into one of the main things that I'm doing now. I completely forgot just how fun it is to engage in a community of fans who like the same thing as me and just making art of the characters in the shows that I love. So this sketchbook spread in particular, along with this one of Jiro at the beginning, just mean a lot to me. They really helped me solidify exactly where I want to be with my art, and I just love the way these sketchbook spreads look. They make me feel so happy, and you're gonna see way more of these throughout the sketchbook as we go on. Here I just have some collage stuff because I had some figure drawing sketches at the bottom, and just various other things, some printmaking ideas, another collage for a class, my original Year of the Dragon designs that I ended up turning into stickers and shirts. You can go check those out on my Etsy store. Were a bunch of pencil sketches that I did. I believe the prompt for this was to just visually describe what imagination means to us. So this was my whole dump on what imagination means to me. Here we have some oil pastels, because I wanted to play with oil pastels again. I hadn't touched them in a while, so I was like, let's give them a try, see how they're gonna work in my sketchbook. And I was able to get some really fun effects with these. Then over here, the next character that I did some art of was Mina Ashido, also from My Hero Academia. This one was super, super fun. I love doing her hair. Color palette is just super adorable. I love doing this one. This really got me thinking about how to start developing my chibi style, because at that point I didn't have one. Still working on developing it to this day. It changes as I change, but it really got me thinking about making stickers and making artwork in my regular style and my chibi style. And then we have even more printmaking sketches, along with some sticker designs. So here's my Year of the Dragon design that I was telling you about. This is a little drawing that my friend Maddie made for me. Then we have Kirishima, because he was also requested by one of my friends, and I don't usually draw characters that are really, really muscular. So this one was a fun challenge for me, because Kirishima has very sharp features, he's a very buff guy, so this one was just fun to play around with. Not to mention, his hairstyle is pretty unique, and it's something that I haven't really done before in my art, so this was a challenge to figure out how exactly I draw his hair. But I think I figured it out. With most of the fan art that's in here, and it's kind of my favorite stuff in the whole sketchbook. This was a whole swatch of this giant gel pen set that I bought for my birthday, along with a sketch from Maddie, again celebrating my birthday. Just a couple other things in here, but mostly just swatching. Here underneath all these collages, I have some sketches of stuff I was doing for work, so I don't really want to show those. I also can't, because these collages are literally glued on top of it. So these are 2 collages that I came up with for a project for one of my classes. We were supposed to pitch 3 different collages, and these were 2 of them that I did not go with. The other one is taped later on in the sketchbook, but I love these. As you can tell, there's a bit of a theme here. I really love Aurora. She's one of my favorite singers, and she was the primary theme for most of these pieces. Right here we have a bunch of art of Garibaldi fish, which are just a really fun, colorful fish that I think is really, really neat. And I wanted to see how I could stylize fish, because I don't really draw a lot of fish. Usually when I draw animals, it's cats, dogs, things like that. But I've become really interested in drawing other animals lately, and fish are one of those things. So this was just a whole spread of me figuring out how exactly I want to draw fish in a stylized way. This was a whole junk journal spread with a bunch of stuff from my trip to Astoria for my birthday. We have the brochure from the actual tower, some receipts and other things. I just thought it would be fun to make it seem a bit more scrapbooky and junk journal-y and not have just art in here, but also use this as a place to document travel and fun experiences with friends and family. To fill up the page, I also have some more sketches of just a random project, and then some art of Vidya, my favorite Disney fairy. Here I have even more stuff of fish, so these were some sketches for my final project for an art history class where I was recreating a picture with different intentions, and I was playing around with oil pastels again because I plan to use oil pastels for the project, and goldfish were a huge part of that project, so this is just a little piece that I made of a goldfish. So that was fun to play around with. I really, really enjoyed that. This is my favorite sketchbook spread. Anyone who knows me would know why. This is a whole sketchbook spread of Datara, my favorite guy, and my favorite Naruto character. So that's pretty self-explanatory, but I personally really love this page. I think I did more sketches of him than anything else in the sketchbook. You're gonna see a lot more of him as we keep going. Here were some more sketches for another branding project for a class. This is probably my favorite branding project I've ever done. It was a self-guided project for a camping company. It's just a project that means a lot to me. I'm very, very happy with the end results, and this is where it all started when I was drafting. Based off of how heavy this is, this next spread was from spring break. So me and a bunch of my really good friends all went up to the Seattle Aquarium, just as a little spring break trip, and I decided to turn this whole page into a giant scrapbook spread, depicting the whole trip. So I kept a bunch of the stuff from the trip, I kept some of the packaging from the place that we ate, some of the business cards from where we went, some of the stuff that I bought, I kept our ticket from the transit, then I just printed out a bunch of pictures from the trip, I printed out the train, me and my friends on the train, a bunch of pictures of the aquarium, the fish we saw. I actually bought this sweater there, so I actually own this. Obviously, it's a very personal spread, so it's very valuable to me personally. I just think it's very beautiful, very, very fun, and I think it's just a great way of really putting me into this sketchbook. The next one I did over spring break as well. I drew Datara. So of course I had to draw Sasori. He's my second favorite character and one of the characters that I relate to most out of most fiction, if I'm being honest. So of course I had to draw him. I thought he would be a challenge in particular for me because I really struggle to draw characters with hairstyles similar to his, and I'm not sure why. At least up until this point. I think I was able to crack it with this one. I think I was just intimidated by drawing Todoroki a few times and absolutely failing. So I think drawing Sasori as a bit of a change definitely helped. Here is that other collage that I mentioned earlier. This is the one that I actually ended up turning into a full-scale drawing. I also have a bunch of other sketches here from what turned into a little tiny mini-series that I would like to continue eventually. I did 3 or 4 of these pieces over the summer, and I can explain a little bit more of what exactly this is in a little bit since I have more of these throughout the sketchbook. But I was doing a lot of different final projects at the time. This was in about April, so we're moving forward quite a bit now. Even more stuff for Aurora. These are things from my school's art competition that I was involved in. Very, very fun. Here I have a bunch of different test cuts that I did for my stickers, for my frogs and my lizards. Turning the page here, I did another Stationery Pal collab in May. So I got a lot of Tombow pens for this one. So there's a lot of sketches here for all the Tombow pens. And I also did some sketches of Akko. He is a Korean Minecraft streamer. So this is a little sketch of him from here that I think is very cute. It's a little digital drawing I did. This was what I made for the actual collab. You would have seen that in the YouTube video. If you've watched that, of course, you can find that here on my channel. But here I did a bunch of silly little lizards. They're some of my favorite things I've ever made. They're just so colorful. I love them. They're so quirky. And then along with that, I also drew Naruto because most of the colors that I got were orange and blue, and that's literally Naruto's color palette, so I kind of had to draw him. Obviously you can see I had a lot of fun with this one, used a lot of line work for the shading, I used a lot of bold colors. The only thing I'm upset about is that I wished I left a space for Miley Flanagan to sign it. At the time, I didn't know I was going to get a chance to meet Miley Flanagan again. I actually met her back in 2022, but obviously I made this a few months ago in 2024. And I'm going to Rose City Comic Con, and I probably will have gone by the time this video comes out. So I was hoping there would be a space for Miley Flanagan to sign this, but there is not, and you're going to see the solution later at the end of the sketchbook. For now, I have even more drafts for stickers that I didn't actually make, but I have some Man I Love Frog sticker drafts here as well. And then if we move forward, I have some more Datara sketches, as well as my Naruto OC. Her name is Kira. I sketched her and Datara in their kimonos because I was trying to figure out what exactly I wanted their kimonos to look like for the chapter of my fanfic I was writing. I write fanfiction. Specifically, right now, I'm writing a Naruto fanfiction. You can go find it on Wattpad. You can also probably find it in the link down below. So if you happen to like Naruto or Naruto fanfiction or Datara, go read that. These are actually something that I'm going to develop further in senior thesis, because my senior thesis idea captures this just a little bit. Here we have the sketches for the stickers that I had a couple pages back, and I can talk more about this. This little series here, as you can see, I did quite a bit of development for, and I made some actual pieces for, which you can see over on my Instagram. And this is for a series that I'm calling Variations of a Star, which the whole point of this is basically to capture the essence of human movement, specifically dance, in abstract form, where I'm just focusing on the lines of the body and the head is depicted as a glowing star. It's very focused on light and color and the dramatic essence of movement rather than capturing a whole human body. I can't explain why I'm so connected to this idea, but it's just something I really love and I want to make more of because I only made 4 of these over the summer and I really want to make more. In a total 180, we have my frogs. These are my frog sketches, my frog sketchbook spread that you saw all the sticker designs for. As you can tell, I really enjoyed making the geckos, so I wanted to do frogs. And this is the color palette that I settled with, blue and yellow, with a little bit of red accents in there. I think these ones, just like the geckos, have a lot of life and personality to them. They're very, very fun, and it was just a fun thing to fill up my sketchbook spread with. These were just some other sketches for a little branding project that I did over the summer. Didn't do much with it, but it was still fun. This was the starting phase for my chibi style. You remember back somewhere in here, wherever Kirishima is. Don't know where he went, but I mentioned that I was doing a chibi style and starting to develop that further. And this was me taking that even farther with Naruto. Just trying to figure out how I want to size the eyes, how do I want the proportions of the face to look, how do I want the body to look, using Naruto as my base. And eventually, I found something I liked. But first, I have some sketches of my Naruto OC again, Kira. I haven't really drawn her that much, especially traditionally. I've drawn her digitally only a few times, so I wanted to sketch her traditionally for a change. I mean, she is my OC. I feel like I should draw her a lot more than I have, so that gave me an excuse to draw her in my sketchbook. Here we have even more stuff for my Naruto series. Decided that I wanted to do a Naruto shop update, starting with Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura, and Kakashi as the main characters for my first drop, which meant I had to figure out how I wanted to draw Sasuke and Sakura. Now, if you know anything about me, you would know I don't like Sasuke as a character, at least not past the original show. I really like Sasuke in the original Naruto, but from Shippuden on, I can't stand him. So I have a bit of resentment built up towards Sasuke, and I also struggled for a very long time to draw him because his hair makes no sense to me. Once I realized that his hair doesn't necessarily need to make realistic sense, that's when I started to figure out how to draw it. Over here we have even more sketches for more Naruto character paintings, all of which I've actually completed to this day, so you can see those on my social media. Here I have a whole sketchbook spread of Shinso, because he was very highly requested. One of my friends had actually asked me several months before making this to draw Shinso, and I was just waiting for his hero costume to be revealed in color. We'd seen his hero costume for a long time in the manga, but I wanted to make sure that I saw the colored version before I went and drew Shinso in color. So I waited for months until we got his hero costume in the anime, and I finally drew him. I just have a bunch of random sketches, so I have some little sketches of Sakura here, a sketch of Sai, a little commission sketch that I did. These are printouts of the Naruto paintings that I had made up until that point. After Sai, I believe I also did Kiba, Suigetsu, and Hinata, so 3 of them are missing from here, but this is almost all of them. This is a piece I did of Sasode, the ship name for Sasori and Deidara. You can see the little sketch for it down here. I changed quite a bit of it in the digital version, and this is just the print version put in the sketchbook. Here are even more sketches for Naruto, because as you can see, I started figuring out what I wanted to do for Sakura, and I needed to figure out what exactly to do for Naruto. Over here, we have me as a Wreck-It Ralph Sugar Rush racer, because I rewatched Wreck-It Ralph and I remembered just how much I love the Sugar Rush racers. So I created my own little self-insert for Sugar Rush. Her name is Twiz, because she's based off of a Twizzler and black licorice. Here is my sketchbook art of Sero. Nobody asked me to draw him. I just really wanted to, because I think he's a wonderful character. He's one of my favorites out of My Hero Academia. So I decided to try drawing him, and I love this color palette. If you couldn't tell back from when I did Denki Kaminari, wherever he is in here, black and yellow is one of my favorite color palettes, and Sero has a lot more black than he does yellow, so I thought this would be a really fun one to play around with. I loved doing this little chibi art of him. I had a great time with it, and I love the way the sketchbook spread turned out. It's so cute. Here we have a bunch more sketches for the whole Naruto painting series. So to this point, these 3, Hinata, Suigetsu, and Kiba, have been painted. I have the sketches for Ino, Choji, Shino, and Tenten. I'm still trying to figure out how to draw Neji because I'm not super happy with it. And then these 4 will all come later. But for now, I'm focusing on this page and Tenten and figuring out how to draw Neji. Then on this next page, this was another YouTube video that I did where I went back and redrew an old page from an old sketchbook. So this one was my Huevember sketchbook redraw, but instead of doing Huevember, I based each of these girls off of a different bug. So we have 2 Lunamoth girls, a Dragonfly girl, Bumblebee girl, Monarch Butterfly girl, and Ladybug girl. Here I have some more random sketches. These are all of Rock Lee, because I love Lee. He's one of my favorite Naruto characters, probably top 5 for me. And I did a little sketch of him with Gaara. Here's my chibi art of Jiro, along with some various other little Sakata sketches. And here you can see the more developed sketch of Gaara and Lee, and the final digital piece that I printed out. So in love with the style. I still am. I'm so excited about the product drop. This video should be coming out before the shop update. So if you don't know yet, I'm doing a Naruto shop update. Gaara and Lee are not involved yet. It's just going to be the main Team 7 characters for now. But Gaara and Lee will be next, and this will definitely be a print. And that kind of continues throughout the rest of the sketchbook spread. So there's even more Sasode stuff in here, so another spread of Sasori and Deidara, mostly just focusing on their primary color palette. Very, very fun. These were some sketches for my collab with my friend Maddie for cyanotype printing, where I printed some fish bones, and these were my original sketches for them. Here are even more sketches of Lee, Naruto, and Sasuke. I'm definitely going to make a drawing out of this one because I love this pose. I think it fits Lee very, very well. And it was fun to fill the page with oil pastels again. This is a whole page of just various Naruto sketches. I ended up drawing this one and this one as well as individual ones, and you can see there's a little sticker here of the final that I did of Sasuke. Over here, we have a sketch of Kakashi that I turned into a full drawing, and this was Maddie's drawing of her character Bo that she put inside my sketchbook when we did our collab. And then back here was my solution to not having any space on the original Naruto spread for Miley Flanagan to sign. So again, I will have gone to Rose City by the time this video comes out, but Miley Flanagan is going to sign my sketchbook spread right here. I'm going to bring the sketchbook to Rose City Comic Con with me so Miley Flanagan can sign it, which I'm very, very excited about. Same boat, Kate Higgins, Sakura's voice actress, is also going to be there, so I'm going to have her sign this sketchbook spread of Sakura. And the last thing in here is some sketches of Jiro. So we start the sketchbook with Jiro, And we end the sketchbook with Jiro because when I went to Anime Washington and I met Trina for the first time, she said she wanted a custom original piece. And this is the final drawing that I will be giving to her during Rose City Comic Con. You can really tell just how much more I was thriving through this sketchbook than the last one. One of the things that I was talking about in my previous sketchbook was that there just wasn't enough color. It felt like everything that I was putting in the sketchbook was for a project, for a school project, or it was just some pen sketches that didn't have any color to them, or I was adding color after the fact just to add a highlight. There wasn't much that felt like it was in the sketchbook just for the sake of being in the sketchbook. There wasn't any art for art's sake, there wasn't much fan art, there was a little bit, but not a lot. It felt like there wasn't a lot of myself in the sketchbook. So my main goal for this sketchbook was to really insert myself back into my sketchbook and back into my work. And I think it's very, very clear that because I'm pursuing my interests and my likes and my favorite characters, my favorite shows, I think it's clear that I'm really succeeding in that goal. I feel like this sketchbook truly embodies myself and everything I want my art to be. I think the best thing about it is that you can tell this is a sketchbook that has been truly loved and truly cared for and really used. You can't even get it to close anymore, and that's something that I plan to continue through my next sketchbook, which I've already started and I will show you now. This is my next sketchbook. This is illo sketchbook number 6, and it's covered in stickers and vinyl from my own stickers and my friends' stickers, from other stickers I've gotten other places, and it has a keychain from Misha Charms from Anime Washington on it. Being so many of my interests, I think it just feels so fun and so collagey. I'm very, very excited about it. I've already been starting some stuff in here. The opening page is just a whole bunch of moth drawings. I've been interested in bugs lately, so I'm drawing moths. It's a bit of a phase. And then a little page that I'm working on right now, which is art of Suigetsu, one of my favorite Naruto characters. That's all I have in the sketchbook for now. But I'm very, very excited to continue on this journey through my sketchbook, especially with this new one, just continuing to make art that I feel like is truly my own, art that I truly care about and love. So I really hope you enjoyed going through sketchbook number 5 with me. Again, these are illo sketchbooks. You can get them on Amazon or illo sketchbook's official website. I am Gail, but you can find me as Abigail Lynn Arts on basically every social media, but I'm most active on Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, and TikTok. If you want to support me, get an art print, get a sticker, or something a little bigger, you can go check out my Etsy shop. As a reminder, my Naruto shop update is coming out soon. By the time you're seeing this video, it'll only be a couple weeks away, and I can show these off to you. I made Naruto acrylic standees, and they're double-sided. So if you've been really loving the Naruto fan art that you've seen throughout the sketchbook tour, you can buy them as Naruto standees. I'm so excited about these. They're some of my favorite products I've ever made. I myself am an acrylic standee collector, so it was really fun to make something that I myself love to buy and love to collect. But very excited about these. I also have keychains, sticker sheets, prints, and other stickers that will be dropping, so be keeping your eyes out for that. Check out all my social medias. I'll definitely make a little video here on YouTube talking about everything that I've released and how I've made all these products. Once again, I am Abigail Lynn Arts. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye, everybody!